Okay, and we're back with Citizen Sleeper. Oh, the music is gone? I must have been here too long. Anyway, last time around, we pretty much took a stroll around the entire belt, at least the front half of the Starward belt. We got to see some locations, did some contracts, we have a bunch of money. We helped with the overthrowing the, what's it called, syndicate? It didn't really matter much. I did think a lot about how the mission we had, the contract on the ship went, the one with the rebellion. And basically, what happened was I was going too fast. I was taking too many risks. If I'd gone for a slow and steady route, even though I would have taken more stress damage, possibly, if my supplies ran out, we would have been able to pull through. I was rushing it because we didn't even have a real time limit. We could have stayed there as long as we wanted, as long as I was ready to pay for the repairs. But in the end, we were gonna succeed the contract no matter what, so it really didn't matter. Anyway, today we're going to be trying to get our diagnostics done. And to do that, we gotta do... I want to do some more missions so I can get some more XP so I can improve my character. And then we'll go and do some more contracts. Oh yeah, we're supposed to do a contract here too. I do want another crew member, but that's not gonna happen anyway. Well, contract time. We have to go to the Cutter's End, an infamous mining site. So go out there and find them. Alright. Oh, we do lose a bit of hunt. Minus 3 to the hunt during travel, huh? In that case, we can stay here for a while. On board the station doing some odd jobs. We can get some raw scrap. And stuff. We can chill. Over here is where we get the raw scraps. If I get lucky. So I'm about to get a lot of money from this contract. So I could get some engine components if I wanted to. Lost some energy. That's mostly fine. Alright. We just got a bunch of cryo and a bit of scrap. A bit. A tiny amount. Excuse me. Oh, bad dices. That won't help. Okay, well, what can I do with all these bad dices? I can work here, can't I? Let's see what happens. I lose some energy. I should eat. Boop. This helps. A bit. Keep working, please. Even if I lose all my energy, we still come out in the positive. Anyway, one more cycle, and then we can go. We almost made like $100. Jeez. Okay, good dices. Come on, give me some scrap, please. Thank you, raw scrap. Thank you, raw scrap. I wonder where I can trade all the processed scraps. We'll see. Probably inside the shipyard, if I had to take a guess. More raw scrap. Woof. So much. Okay, time to go for the mission. Let's go. We have our crew selected. Travel time. What the hell is happening out there? Femi is up and out of the seat the moment Seraphin brings the rig to rest near the asteroid known as the Cutter's End. The ominous name is one whose origins become increasingly obvious as you approach through the thick clouds. Let me let the dog calm down, doggo. Okay, the dog is just here. He's gonna go to sleep soon. Okay, anyway. The ominous name is the one whose origin has become increasingly obvious as you approach through a thick cloud of debris and chunk of rocks. among which corroded remains of wreck could be seen floating. Now, as you look out on the splintered end and terraced rocks, you can't help but feel a slowly growing sense of dread. Look, there. Femi comes close to the cockpit glass and points to the terraced quarry cut into the rock. The mine's awake. You look out and see the flickering lights, the glowing dock markers. Femi shakes his head. That's not right. Neither is that. Seraphin nods towards the asteroid, and you see a ship now, tucked into the shadow of the rock, flashing its signal light at you. That means it's the crew we're looking for. Visitors, huh? The voice wavers weakly as it comes through the ship's comms. Are you not friendly? It isn't long before you and Femi are suiting up, and an agreement has been made between Seraphin and the pilot of the other ship, a man called Baird, to meet in the neutral ground of open space. Femi is silent, his anger is evident in the way he forces his leg into the trouser of his suit. Then you're out, the vast shape of the cutter's ends flickering with strange lights below you, and the pinpricks of the pilot's suit lights slowly coming closer ahead. Baird, KG Spacer. You two are a sight for sore eyes. You see a crooked grin from Baird, framing the hard lines of his ramshackle spacesuit. What brings you to the arsehole of the Starward belt? His sharp eyes scan you and Femi. We're looking for someone. Bard's eyes flick to you, and you notice a familiar reaction across his face, the acknowledgement of that he recognizes you as a sleeper. You don't look like bounty hunters. Well, he kinda does. You brought a freelancer out there. Nia, where is she? Bard pauses, considering his answers. Whole crew is down the throat of that thing. He jerks a thumb towards the asteroid. You're welcome to wait. But I'll have you know we look after our crew, so if you're here to settle the debt, let me take her home, and I'm not waiting. Thing is, big man, they are deep in the quarry on a tip-off, so unless you want to go chasing them around the dark, you're shit out of luck. Who turned on the lights? Was like that when we got here. Enough, we both know Cutter's End has been dead for as long as anyone can remember, and even then, it wasn't worth the risk to pick through those tunnels. That rock has claimed more crews than any other. If you're gonna be rude, I'm done talking. Who's to say you aren't trying to jump our claim? Forget this. Big man seems sketchy. He's going to get you in trouble. Baird retreats to the ship and you to yours. We need to go in, right now. What's the approach? What matters is our ingress. There's a borehole on the side of the rock. Could get us under the radar, or we dive right down the main shaft. I'll leave the call to you. Bliss arrives at the airlock and stares at Femi's angry tools gathering. Let's keep cool heads. That rock looks straight and dangerous enough, even when you're thinking straight. You get ready to depart well aware that you are heading to a situation you don't understand. The borehole, interface and engage skills, or the central shaft, engineer and debris clearing skills. Do we have any risks? Stress. I can take stress. That was not good. Okay. Okay, this is a bad idea, actually. The borehole. No, it's still dangerous. Never mind. I gotta spend the one, or else our push might activate on his dice. Now it's our turn. We spend our dices. Up. Keep it up. Then I push. Good dice. And we keep it up. Risk it. I don't want any stress, but that's fine. We got some stress. I might take damage on my dices. You have felt a rumbling growing as you descend into the cutter's end, but no one has wanted to bring attention to it. Now floating in a cavernous rock-walled passage, it is impossible to ignore. There's something out there, something moving. You squint down the tunnel beyond the limit of your suit's lights. You swear you see something flicker there in the unseen passages beyond. There's a strangeness into the mine, to its flashing lights and empty conveyors, running on some residual power. From what Femi has told you, it wasn't always like this. Cutter's Ends has a fearsome reputation as a dark and deadly maze. A ripped open rock not worth the trouble of its corroded salvage. Now it's a moving maze, its automated systems given a new faltering life, brought back from hundreds of cycles in the shadows, and one of those systems is rumbling through the dark ahead. Let's keep it moving. We don't need to wait. We should wait. We're too far behind, we need to catch up. Femi's lights reveal an intersection. A new tunnel cutting across this one, offering 3 routes ahead. Suddenly you're blinded by a wall of light beyond the intersection. The rumble is everywhere, shaking dust and rocks off the walls in dense clouds. Squinting into the light, you see a ring of lamps, and between them the grinding maw of some terrible machine. It bears down on the crew, grinding through the debris. Look for an escape. Neutral outcome. You shield your eyes and scan the walls around you. There, revealed in the powerful lamp of the mining machine, you see a small square passage cut into the rock. Signaling the others, you dodge inside, gliding into the safety of the dark passage. A moment later, the machine rumbles past the entrance, spitting a hail of debris into the tunnel. You don't stop. Carried forward by the tide of rock, you merge into another cavern. You good? Femi's voice is broken up by gasps for air. You turn to see him staring into the dark, shaking his head. What the hell was that thing? It tried to eat us. We need to keep going. That mining machine must be keeping us screwed down here. We have to get past it. Keeping them down here, or your mind drifts to the worst option. Can any crew really hope to survive all this? When they woke up this place, they woke up the machine. It's running on old programming. It's not hunting us. It's not smart. We can beat it. You hope he's right. New location discovered. The tunnel complex. It's still really dangerous. Let's take a break. I don't want to risk any more stress. No damage. Can I take a nap? Nope, not while I'm on a contract. Alright. We don't have really good dices. I could get my 2 into a 5. Well, we gotta try. The machine rumbles through the tunnels. Hey, we got a positive outcome. Over there, Femi. Took a bit of stress. Then it's my turn. I'm gonna risk the stress. Come on, positive action. Positive, positive, positive. Nope. I got more stress. This is gonna hurt. I gotta finish as soon as possible. Keep it up. If we finish it now, we'll be safe-ish. Safer-ish. Neutral outcome. Negative outcome. Come on. One more neutral. One more neutral, please. Neutral. Hey. We went through the maze. To me, Sleeper. Femi beckons you over to a section of the cavern wall. You glide over and immediately spot what he has found. There's a large passage splitting off from that one. But it's not the passage itself that is of interest. It is the remains of a barricade freshly welded that draws your attention. They came out through here. They tried to keep it out. You look at the fresh cuts in the wall, the stone gouged out, the crumpled metal bent and crushed, and most tellingly the flattened remains of a welding torch. The crew took a stand at this very place. You reach down and put a hand on the remains of the torch. Neo was here. Then you feel it, the rumble. You look up at Femi and he sees it in your face. The machine is coming. Go. Get safe. He looks over your shoulder and suddenly he's bathed in the blinding lights of the machine. No! You go to protest, but Femi kicks you into the chest, sending you spinning away out of the past of the machine. By the time you catch yourself in the cavern wall and turn, you see Femi there in the middle of the passage. He waits, agonizingly long, until he knows the machine is coming for him. Then he kicks off hard and glides into the dark. The machine rumbles through a hail of rock and dust, and you follow after it, batting away chunks of stone. You swim at the debris, and the machine pulls out ahead, rumbling endlessly onwards through the tunnels, through the rock and metal. And then it's gone. The cavern shakes, filling with dust, your vision gray. Your comms clicks and hiss, and chunks of rock tunk off the faceplate of your helmet. Then you see them, the faint lights of Femi's suit as he struggles through the dust. We got it. Somehow we got it. It takes some time to understand what happened. As the dust clears, you find yourself in the lips of the shaft filled with debris. Amy just hit the dog. Dog. Hey, doggy, calm down. Oh. Good doggo. Okay. Go to sleep. Only understands French. Okay, dog. Okay, calm down a bit. The huge pit, thick with shards of rocks, must have been a refuse pit with a mine, a place to pipe the tailing the wastes. The machine went straight into the shaft, spinning into the open space and debris, shredding itself against a million razor-sharp bits of rock. Looking down to the pit, your lamps illuminate a few pieces of the machine. The rest is surely down there, deep inside the dense debris cloud. It isn't long before Femi is calling you once again. This time to another still complete barricade. A barricade over the door to a machine room, sealed and secure. The last retreat of the crew, you fall into this nightmare. We gotta break through. I can clear the pit to recover from the stuff from the chassis. Or I can go into the machine room. I think we'll just go to the machine room tomorrow and try to get out of here. If that's possible. Well, time to break some dices. We can lose 2 today and 2 tomorrow. Oh, we didn't lose any dices. Lucky. It might mean we get unlucky tomorrow. Anyway, break the doorway, please. Do we have anything over here we can do? Nah. Remains of the machine, huh? The Cutter's Folly. I could get a free critical success. We could risk it, but I don't wanna. Let's go here instead. Break the doorway, please. And there he goes. He's going to be gone for the contract now. Alright. Cutter's Rest. Let's see what happened to the crew. As the barricaded doors is bent open, you are blinded once again by a wall of light. You and Femi raise your lamps instinctively, squinting into the lamps and the dust. You feel a flash of fear into the pit of your stomach, bracing yourself for what's to come. Femi, the voice comes crisp and clear over the local comms. What are you doing here? Nia drifts out of the light in an old, dust-caked suit. She looks between the two of you with a blank expression, blinking rapidly. Femi stares at her, frozen for a moment, then rushes to her, wrapping her in a wide embrace. They float there in the light and dust, two bodies bound together. Nia pulls back. You don't understand. You followed me out here? How did you find me? You left without telling me. What did you expect? You aren't ready for this. Nia retreats further at Femi's words. Femi, after all these years, you have no idea what I'm ready for. The moment the light catches your eye and you see motions in the dust, a figure in the suit drifts out, punched and clutching their abdomen. They turn to face Nia and you see their lips moving as they speak on a private channel. Look over to Femi, but he is staring straight ahead, his eyes wide with anger. You! What kind of idiots are you placing my sister into this place? What that machine running riot? Speak up, what were you thinking? Nia blocks his path. Femi, you meathead. This is my job, I brought them here. Femi for once falls silent. Well, you almost got them killed. It takes a while to make the return trip back up through the Cutter's End, especially with Nia's injured crewmate. As you ascend, Nia tells you the story of the job. Femi keeps his distance and leads the way in silence. The mining machine you'd face was what she'd been looking for to extract. A job she and Barrett had put together after meeting in the narrow escape. He knew a way to jumpstart the mine and to access the access that would open up meant new salvage. One of those pre-collapsed boring machines was worth major cryo to any mining outfit, and Barrett had a contract who was ready to buy. It was going well until Hereta here hooked the mining machine into the main line. Something went in the automation core and it lost its shit. The plan was to barricade it and put together a shock trap to fire the core. But that's worthless now that my brother shredded the thing. That's not our issue. Always is. We're lucky you came. As you move through the facility, you notice most of it is dark now, the power from Barrett's jumpstart fading away to nothing. Soon this place will be a quiet ruin once more. You ascend up to the quarry and out into the open space where Barrett is waiting. Friends of yours? Maybe you could have warned me they'd be coming. Not something I knew. My brother doesn't tend to give anyone a warning. I'll take them from here. Look, mate, no hard feeling. Thank you for getting them out. Even if you did screw the job while you were at it. I guess that makes it square. I should ride back with them, but I'll see you in Flotsam. Thanks for helping my brother. I know he appreciates you, whatever he does or doesn't say. You watch her go, then glide over to the rig as the last flickering lights of the Cutter's ends fade. Oh, I can't go for the secret, huh? Alright then. At least I can go for the minus... Okay. I can go for the minus stress. That could be useful. Time to get out. Before I lose all my dices. Leave, please. And there goes my dice. When you arrive back in Flotsam, Femi rushes out of the ship. The moment the docking tunnel is connected, he is off. Out on the airlock and down the passage. Well, go after him then. Surfin sighs, not looking up from his diagnostics. You find Femi at the passage between the docks, watching as Nia glides towards him. You catch a glimpse of Nia's face over his shoulder. She looks nervous, slowing her approach as she comes close to Femi, his considerable frame blocking the tunnel. Femi holds up a hand to quiet her. I'm sorry. I'm the one who's sorry. I made the excuse to myself that I was trying to protect you, but I was trying to control you. I've been suffocating you. I see that now. They took something like this for me to see it as on me. He folds his arm, regaining his composure. I understand it. Shut up, you idiot. They embraced. I've had enough of your speeches. Apology accepted. It's not a speech. I have something I need to say. You're a powerful person, and I've been trying to curb that because it scares me, and it scares me how little it scares you. But I'll stop placing those limits on you. In fact, I want you to have the ship. I mean, she was pretty close to getting killed. I can make my own way, find work with crews. Perhaps Seaper will take me on. But I need some time away from leading from captaincy. While you need anything but, the symbol crash is yours. I mean, you really need to listen more. I don't want your ship. You're right. I am a powerful person, but the Cutter's ship showed me I'm not ready to lead. The Cutter's edge. I want to learn more, to work with a crew, but preferably not one I'm related to. He looks over Femi's shoulder. I was actually thinking Seaper's crew might be the right fit. You suddenly feel the attention at the moment shifted to you, and your appearance role in this family drama. I'll take Femi. They both want to come in, but Nia's the one who doesn't want to work with her brother. I understand. He'll be one hell of a crewmate. Plenty of crews out there for me. Bard's docked just over there. Maybe not Bard. Appreciate you taking me on. I'll make sure to pull my weight. How about we find something to celebrate? Come on. Later on, you find yourself in a narrow escape, in a quiet corner with Nia. How do you do it? How do you keep going when it feels like this whole place is falling apart? I look to the future. Come on, the future scares me. I have the whole belt to go at, and I have to find my way in it. I hear you, though. That's what I want, to build something of my own. Thank you for everything. I never was good at goodbye, so I'm going to slip out while Femi gets getting drinks. That's dirty. Alright then. Now, I gotta buy some more supplies. Up. Buy scrap components? Sure. I can buy my own repair fees. Keep the rare components for later. Up. Let's go to repair. Workshop. Alright. One of the jobs out there, the next contract I'm going to be taking, also gives us scrap metal or components for repair. Also gotta get the stress out of here. Stress out, please. No stress. Neutral outcome. Alright. Neutral outcome. Can I get a positive one? Neutral outcome. Alright. Femi is here now. Yeah, I took him on because he could complement our missing skill. Engage. End the cycle. Hopefully we don't break any dices. Fingers crossed. Oh, they're only glitched. That's all. I can take glitched dices. Here we go, spend it. Spend it on the resting. Nope. Keep it up. Hey, it worked out. And now we go and work. Might work out. Hey, raw scrap. Nice. And now that we have extra crew members, we can go and get the other contract. I should spend more longer on contracts. If I spent longer, I could have gotten the machine, since we had plenty of supplies left over. We did it all in 2 cycles. I can take my time. Now we have a bunch of glitch dice anyway, I'm gonna have to. Alright. First, let's get some supplies. Fill fuel. No, I want supplies. At the greenhouse. Buy supplies. Could buy the engine components I need for an engine upgrade, but it says that they're pricey here. So I could just wait until we get to the shipyard and see the prices. Anyway, time to go and work. And maybe get lucky. Or maybe not. Alright, time to eat. Yoink. And go back to work. Maybe get some scrap. Okay, and now, next contract, the stranded rig. It's supposed to be a safe contract. Up. Take him on. Let's go. Travel to the contract. Confirm. Let's take our time. Keep your hands where I can see him. The voice crackles over the open channel, and your suit calms as you near the stranded rig. You slow your approach a little as you move towards the ship, its shape lumpy and skeletal in the distant light of the sun. A warm welcome bodes well for the rest of the job. I forgot to upgrade my push ability. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. You look up at the stranded ship ahead. Clearly they're feeling a bit exposed. We're here to help. Well, I figured that. Otherwise I would have put a hole in that shiny rig of yours already. You arrive at the side of the rig, inspecting the damage as you do. Half the hull plating and big chunks of the internal structure seems to be missing. You have a feeling that's not what you are here to fix. The airlock opens and you move inside. The air interior all exposed wires and metal framework. The system wheezes and shudders as it cycles. Alma. The lady. The botanist lady. No, wait, no, that's not it. I'm thinking of somebody else. Do we know them? They look familiar. Nothing of value here, so if you're looking to steal something, you're welcome to it. You do the work that's needed and I'll let you take your half of the haul. Understood? Well, alright then. Her face is placid and unchanging as rock. Here's the short of it. Engines conked out to me, and I'm no engineer. Can usually get her going, but this time no dice. Shoot between you and the rest of the crew. Surprised there's so many of you, to be honest. Bliss smiles sympathetically. Sorry about that, but don't worry. I've worked on these engines before. I can handle this. Don't be so sure. Alma leads you towards the engine room. The layout of her rig's much the same as yours. This girl's a sensitive type. You need to know how to handle her. The central corridor of the ship snakes in a way that isn't familiar to you, and you realize that the rig is far more heavily modified than your own. Something that becomes all the more obvious when you arrive in the engine room. Rather than the rig's stock engine, a singular block and double turbine, with feed lines between. Alma's engine is a mess of piping and feed wires. Feed lines, linking up multiple raw components, walled into the interior frame of the room. Your eyes widen at the sight. Been adding to her since I was young. Might look like a mess, but she purrs when she's running. Beth shaking her head slowly. Oh, sleeper. This is going to be special. You struggle to tell if they're intimidated or impressed, perhaps it's a total of both. That's about all of it. Get her running and you'll get your half of the haul. What's the haul? Alma glides over to a window set in the side of the engine room and points to the corroded remains of a facility, deep in the asteroid's loose, dusty surface. There's the hull, as good as fine as I've seen. The hull's a building? Building and all that's in it. What, you too good for scrapping? By rest, that building's mine. Scrapper's claim. But you help me get running, and you're welcome to take what you want from it. Up to a maximum of 50% of raw mass, that is. We have to extract it ourselves? We have to extract it ourselves? I doubt it'll trouble one of you. Anyway, you're leaving with nothing unless my girl here is back in shape by the time you're done. So get to it. You turn back to the engine, your eyes tracing the madness of the interlocking systems. You're starting to have the horrible feeling that this contract's some elaborate joke. So we have the ruined facility down there. We can gather some scraps. Look for some components. It's all dangerous work. And over here we have the rig. Engine labor and engine study. Okay, well, first things first, I can push. Get a critical success. I could have gotten negative stress if I had spent my points. Anyway, push. Boop. Critical success. Alright. And we just keep it up. And we keep it up. The only thing that can go wrong is us getting stress, I think. I won't spend my glitched dice. That's asking for trouble. Okay, Bliss, you take your turn. We're studying that engine a lot. Okay, now we have one critical success saved up with Femi. I can spend it getting some scrap. Boop. We got some raw materials. Points, clock. And then come back here and work on the engine. We can afford to have stress on our crew. Crew stress is pretty cheap. You all gather in Alma's rig to see the engine tested. The engine room purrs and chitters. It seems to warm with the sound of the engine, with the polyrhythmic vibrations that rattle through the open framework of the interior. You look over to Alma and you see her eyes are closed. Her small tremble in the corner of her mouth. You look at the engine, Alma's engine, an object that you have come to respect over the past cycles, even if you haven't necessarily grown to love it. It is as you see it now, a difficult thing to love. Whole parts of it make little sense, and its oldest systems are those now bypassed and made obsolete by the new additions, still somehow play an integral role you don't understand. It's unwieldy and unnecessarily so, and the accumulation of parts and patches from its long service makes it surprisingly fragile. Meanwhile, other sections have been welded and re-welded so many times that they are impregnable and will never be able to replace. It is uncooperative and prone to sudden outbursts of cooling fluid or even fuel. It is restless and will begin to leak when left idle for too long. It's always too cold or too hot, thanks to the coolant and the fuel, and it's hard to predict which will be at any given moment. Despite all this, it's an object you feel close to. You feel a kinship with it, because in the end, you too are an accumulation of broken parts, too long outliving their operational limit. You too are a machine that has become a story, and a story that has grown beyond the ability of others to understand it. Look over to Alma again, and Bliss is there, beside her. You can see they're talking, but with the engine running, you cannot hear them. You watch for a moment Bliss now patiently listening in faltering words, Alma explains something to them. Bliss nods, and then suddenly they embrace, gently and with care. Bliss pushes back, and as soon as the moment has passed, it seems like it might not happen again. Nothing in the two figures' attitudes betrays the act, and the room seems unchanged. You don't remember if you have seen them speaking before now, but you recall that there are many moments when you were not with Bliss. As you watch Alma approach, you realize that the engine is not just special to you, and that between her and Bliss might have been their bridge to a unique kind of respect. That's the job, Sleeper, and you know where the payment is to be found. I believe that brings our business to an end, unless you have something to add. What brought you here? Scrap tends to bring scrappers to the place they visit. I knew there was scrap to be found here. Sadly, I did not know that my engine was about to take a turn for the worse. I appreciate the assistance. You're welcome to take what you want from the hangar if you haven't already. Now, I must kindly ask you to leave my ship. As the airlock cycles, you look across Bliss, and you can see a tear in their eyes. Are you okay? I'm a good sleeper, really good. This place reminded me of why I do what I do, why I fix things. There's beauty in it. You find yourself drifting away from Alma's ring in a haze of thoughts. It's clear to you that the point that Alma's history is written all over this place, but more than that, well, you can't be sure. The story is not for you. You realize as you gaze at the broken remains of the facility that Alma never took any of her half of the hull. Turn back and squint at the cockpit of her rig. You see her there, looking across this wasteland, still as a statue. It's an image that as you load into the rig and begin the preparations to depart will stick with you. Almost every time you enter the engine room of your ship, a room almost identical to the engine room of Alma's rings, you will leap into your mind. A woman floating above the wreck of what was once her home, looking for a reason to keep going. Contract complete. Now we're just gonna go and scrap. And we can take our time. No worries. My glitches are gone. I can do a push on my... Oh, it's on a 1. I can't do a push. Never mind that. Component search. Demi. Look for some raw materials. Keep it up. Looking for raw materials. And I can do it a bit too. Gather scrap. Okay. We got some scrap. You rest a moment, taking a break from dragging the plates you've cut across the asteroid's surface. You find yourself looking up towards Alma's rig, still there on the edge of the crater, and wondering if she's watching. With her engine fixed, you half expected her to leave immediately, but she remains there on the horizon, unable to leave the place. As in response, your comms channel buzzes. A nice pal you got there. We'll make scrappers of you kids yet. That scrap will earn you a pretty penny if you know what you're doing. Holmes Rock always a good place to offload. I'll give you that for free. But I can't offload the process scrap. Look at the stack of ragged torch-cut plates as they are loaded into the rig. And you have to admit you do feel a little proud of the work done. Thanks. You earned it. You glance at her shoulder at the cockpit of Alma's rig, where you can see her watching. What are you doing out here? There's a click in the open channel as it closes, and Alma seems to take a moment to consider a response. Let me ask you, what do you think this place was? The signal station? Sounds like a mystery. That sounds like a mystery story. Nothing as interesting as secret communiques were coming out of this place when I was still alive. Alma goes quiet for a moment. See the old arrays on the far side? Those are the first priority. Get power running. Recharge the cells for the excavators, the welders. Turn the scrap into something livable. Look at them now. See the tumbled down collection of panels. They look like they were scattered by a careless hand, discarded without much thoughts. You turn back to see the scrap has been loaded into your ship. You're half at the hull. Do you suspect this place is more than just a haul to Alma? Ah. That's all I could get. The raw scrap, not the components. Well, time to go in that case. Alright then. We have also another contract back in the spindle. We can take our time here. Keep getting more scrap. Why not? Wait, did we get a point? We didn't get a skill point from that contract. Anyway, we can now do negative stress. And I can even make it even stronger by making it stress on neutral outcomes. But that means if it was a 5, I could always... Well, that's pretty good. If it was a 5, I could always... If my 1 gets turned into a 5, and we have to do a skill check without any bonuses, we can guarantee we're going to lose stress. That's pretty powerful. I might do that next. Anyway, back to getting more scrap. Yoink. Yoink. Keep it up. Lost some energy, that's fine. We'll stay here for a couple of days, since we have some free time. Basically. Alright. More scrap gathering. We have a decent haul of scrap. It's a lot, actually. And we're still making money while we're doing that, too. It's just all pure profit at this point. Anyway, fuel here is kind of expensive. Do we have what we take to go to the next... to the spindle? The far spindle. Yeah, it only takes 4 fuel. We have what we need. So I can take a nap here, do some actions tomorrow, and then we can leave. We have another contract to complete over on the spindle. Give me more scrap, please. More scrap, please. Thank you very much. We have 20 raw scrap, which we can do. I think it's gonna be able to process into 10 more processed scrap, presumably. Alright, time to leave. To the spindle. Let's go. Once we get there, we can also spend more time waiting for the hunt to come back, because we can... Oh. I saw it. Seraphin comes charging into the bunk. I actually saw it. He's wild-eyed, and his breath is ragged. Also, the game did get an update yesterday, or today. Are you okay? Have you noticed how supplies have been going missing every so often when we travel? I have. Look at that, we're still missing some. Should you recall the mysterious mess that was left behind the supply storage? After it happened a couple times, I decided to keep an eye on our supply store. Check it from time to time. Just a cycle, I drifted in there really quiet, and whoosh! Something flew past me, knocked me right into the wall. Something? I don't know, it came at me fast. Some kind of creature. Is there really a creature loose on the ship? We look around the berth, suddenly aware that something could have been hiding nearby, tucked into the vents, perhaps? We know this thing likes supplies, right? So we lock them down tighter, keep it out, that will get desperate. Then it'll make a mistake. What are you talking about? Like, can you haul away in the workshop? Seraphin saw the supply thief. From the way you're talking, I'm assuming it's not a human. It's something small and dark. We're going to lock up the supplies to drive it out. If it's an animal, we don't want to make it more scared and desperate than it already is. How about we lock up the supplies but leave some in a special place, try to bait it, and then grab it? No, we show it it has nothing to fear, we tame it. This isn't very tameable. The serpent rubs his sore ribs, plus we're already wasting enough supplies on this thing. You want to give it more? What do you think, Sleeper? Nah, let's try to tame it. What a waste. Alright, I have to come down to the supply store every few cycles and put out some more food. That way it won't get desperate and do anything dangerous. And I'll lock up the supplies up tight. Won't get you them anymore. The plan set, Bliss and Seraphim leave the berth. You watch them go. It seems your ship has a stowaway, but how do you deal with it? Me, we'll be fine. Let's work at the kitchen. Get impressing Nemba points. Sleeper, Nemba wants to see you. You nod to the other volunteers as you wipe off your hand and clip your cutlery to the magnetic rack. You drift out of the improvised canteen on the way to the kitchen in the back. It is a busy shift, and each shift seems busier than the last. That makes sense, of course. You've seen the steady flow of refugees arriving from the inner system, and most of them, with barely a chip to their hand, end up in the underhang. As you crush into the system, into the kitchen, you can still hear the rumble of the refugees' conversation to the hatch. The other chef leads you past the rehydrators and the hand-built centrifugal oven to a small office unit at the back of the kitchen. They knock on the door for you, then glide away to finish their own meal, leaving you to wait by it. Look around the small but carefully arranged kitchen as you wait, your shift here having left you familiar with the mix of improvised and salvage equipment, some of which you had never seen before you came here. Come in, Sleeper. Nemba is perched at a desk, uplit by a small transparent terminal on the screen. Reading glasses perched on the end of his nose. Is he holding like some kind of powder? Precise humanitarian chef. You've seen Nemba before, but not as much as you'd imagine you would while working at a place called Nemba's Kitchen. Even though there isn't a proper sign on the front, everyone in the underhang knows its name. The man himself is more of a mystery. Apart from the occasional barked orders in the busy chicken kitchen, he is little more than a blur to you. Why do you work here? The food is good. Uh-huh. You do well here, Sleeper. You're fast, precise, you're doing good work. Thanks. Nemba lifts a hand in response. That's my worry, Sleeper. Good workers like you, they move on fast. 10 cycles, maybe more, maybe less, and then they're gone. And the team gets used to having them here, gets used to working at that pace. Then suddenly they have to work differently. They have to pick up the slack, change jobs, change stations, and a few of them think, maybe it's time I moved on too. So what I found is good workers are trouble. Especially those who come and go like you. This space runs on consistency, Sleeper. Those that turn up every cycle, good or bad, they get people fed. Let's be honest, that ain't you. So let's cut to it. I can't use you in the kitchen anymore. You're done. I'm sorry. But this place also runs on all those machines out there, on the suppliers. I can rope in the donations. Feeding refugees from the inner system is logistics as much as it's chefing. Which is why I'm cooped up in the back. So maybe you're gone. I never see you again. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll soldier on without you. But maybe you still want to be useful. Maybe I heard you have a ship. Maybe I heard you chatting. And maybe I have a little something held in a place only a ship like yours can reach. I negotiated the purchase of some valuable inner system spores from a group that came from there. But they somehow ended up at the depot in Greenbelt. So if you head to the Greenbelt and you find a delivery, then you bring it back. Well, that will be helping. It'll be the kind of helping a good worker, even an inconsistent worker, might be able to offer me. Seems like the kind of thing that someone genuine, someone who wants to help for real might do. Don't you think? But it also seems like the kind of thing that might sit on a list of priorities for so long it disappears and never gets done. I've seen that happen too. You're just trying to guilt me into helping him. I guess we'll find out which it is. You know the way out, Sleeper. You glide through the kitchen, through the improvised canteen, the people eating and chatting. The cold underhang passageway beyond, all the time considering what you might do next, and recalling the persuasive glint in Nimba's eyes. Uh-huh. Okay, let's go and scrap. Process raw scrap. I can also take some scrapper shifts. What do those do again? Just a lot of money? A lot of money. A lot of money. We even get paid for processing our own scrap. we're gonna have so much money. At some point, something's gonna ask me to spend like 1,000 cryo. I can see it already. It's gonna be some kind of objective, like they did back in the Havenport, Export, with the fuel lines. Same idea. We now have 12 processed scraps. Alrighty then. The trade hall. A good fill supplies and fuel. I do need more fuel. What are my people working on right now? Go for fuel. We can make more potential money by looking for fuel. Scavenge fuel. Thank you. Time to work at the signal station. We have a few days to wait. Might as well. Well, do we? Are we gonna lose the hunt while we go out on the contract? I don't know because we don't have enough fuel to see. Oh well. Just saw something else up here on my own ship. This one, the supply store. I gotta go and drop some supplies in there now and again. I see. We did scavenge some fuel. Let's have a confirmation. Yes, we do lose hunting while we go on a contract. Good to know. I can do I can try to do bar shifts. We have many 6s. Negative outcome. Dang it. It's hard to do because we don't have the engage skill. Hey, positive outcome. Yay. Hey, neutral outcome. We're halfway to the gambler's friend. Bleh. One more rest. Boop. Oh wait, is feeding the stowaway gonna take away supplies while I'm out on a contract? That could be really bad. Anyway, let's eat. Let's get some kelp cakes. We got a bunch of fuel scavenged. Let me just buy some more supplies. That's the wrong place. Over there. Fill supplies. Now back to taking some bar shifts. Over here. We might get lucky. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hey, slight luck. Hey, it's happening. Yay. And there it goes. Time for the contract. We're supposed to go on Eugene's mission, get a tip-off on the thingy about the thing. So he has engage. Oh, he has the same skills as Femi, huh? I didn't realize that. Oh. So he's gonna be redundant. A redundant crew member. Alright then. Good to know. This is not what you promised. Seraphin turns to Eugene with a raised eyebrow. You're looking around the debris field, scattered around the small asteroid whose gravity has kept them here. You have to agree. Why would you even start looking? Eugene shrugs, unfazed. I said the wreck was hidden, transponder off, no flight records. I didn't say it was intact. If this was an easy job, I would have come with you. I wouldn't have come with your crew. Could have just grabbed it myself. We'd all earn our share. There's definitely more than one wreck. Bliss is leaning towards the window, staring out at the glinting debris. I'd say at least 3, maybe 4 different engine housings out there. You really think there's something valuable to be pulled from that? I know there is. My tip-off is good. We just need to find the right parts. You look out at the wild debris field of the right ship. Any clues? What I know is that there's a wreck with an item of great value out there. That's it. Are you all afraid of some hard work? Is that it? So you tell me we don't know what we're looking for, where it is, or what it's worth? Trust me, or don't. This will be worth your while. This is a hot tip. Sleeper, please. Suddenly, a persuasive beat interrupts your conversation. You turn to Serpent's terminal. What? We just got an incoming ship. The transponder just popped up. See? What did I say? A hot tip. Better claim before they do. The clock's ticking. I see a few obvious sights, large bits of debris, clear hull sections. We should focus on those. See your lucky kids in the airlock. Ready, Cap? Alright. You follow already trying to map the scattered debris in your mind. We have 1, 2, 3 locations. Plus this transponder ship's gonna come in 2 cycles. Let's see. Crush shuttle, scattered wrecks, and then the asteroid. I can search a wreckage down on the floor. Do you have any engineering checks? We do. Okay. In that case, I should get some stress, and then reduce the stress. Right now, right today. Scattered wrecks. Okay, let's round the debris field. 50-50. Bit of stress. Now I can go and reduce that stress over here. Up. Nice. It works out. Okay. Then Bliss do the same thing. Alright. And then I can try on... I can try a decent dice. A 2. Hey, it worked out. We got a shuttle access. And there's terminals, which we gotta scrape through. Only I got the skills for that. Alright. Anything I can use Yuijin on? Yes, clearing these wreckages. Go on. Well, actually, this is for extra stuff. Here is for regular stuff. Analyze the debris. Yoink. Bit of stuff. You dive in the debris, maybe get a bit of stress. Alright. And this 2 I'm not gonna spend. I don't want to lose. I don't want to get I don't want to get any extra stress. Alright, next day. We have some 1s. There's no more engineering checks out there. We gotta do some data trawling. The dog wants out. Give me a second. Oh, doggy. There it goes. This shuttle might have the data you need, but extracting it means systematically working through the systems. Alright. Work it. Hey. It's going okay. Yay. Then I can take a risk for stress. Or for this transponder ship to come in. We can let's take our time. Let's not rush. Dive in the debris field. Bliss has a bunch of good rolls. I want to spend them. Salvaging the wreckage, sure. Up. And up. Okay, and I won't spend these ones, I think. Actually, I can spend the 1 here. Won't change much. Hey, lucky. Alright. Tomorrow. Hopefully it works out. I have to spend a supply soon. The ship's transponder is about to arrive. Let's see what happens. Yui Jin, you piece of shit, where are you? The distorted voice rattles through your ship, as you are all finishing your breakfast in the mess. Everyone turns to look at Yui Jin, Seraphim shaking their head. Vesna, he says under his breath. You suddenly recall the steel-eyed captain who confronted Yui Jin and the guy on the gyre back on the far spindle. Open the airlock before I do something I will regret. As her voice echoes through the room, you realize you must be at the rig's entry lock. Yuijin? We should let her in. You kick off towards the door, but Seraphine drifts between you and the exit. Steeper, you sure about this? We're just gonna talk. Alright. But at the moment this starts to go south, we're booting them both out. Eugene follows you as you glide down the airlock and hits the control for the exterior door. Let me handle her. Alright. He nods appreciatively and drifts towards between you and in the airlock. You watch the airlock cycles and past Eugene, you see the silhouette of Vesna through the viewing window as she removes the helmet of her suit. Though he's been playing it cool, you see Eugene takes a deep breath in preparation. I should shoot you right there. Vesna floats through the airlock, her eye implants glinting, but I wouldn't want to give them the wrong impression. Her metal eye let make it impossible to read her tone. Let her talk. Is this how you treat all my clients, Eugene? Promise to deliver to the coordinates they help you find, and then instead when you find out their value, go to another crew to try to steal a prize out from under their nose? I knew you were an amateur, but I didn't think you were an idiot too. Tell whatever stories you want, Vesna. Until I am paid, there is no deal. Did you pay me, Vesna? You know as well as I do that payment was on the receipt of the coordinates. Well, sorry to say, I won't be able to deliver. Deal's off. You piece of shit. Now, you're a guest on this ship. Let's all remember that. Come back to see Seraphine holding a whole bolter on his waist. It's wide model trained on Vesna. Of course, I thought you might all see the breach of trust in this situation, but I was wrong. I don't want to escalate this. On that we are agreed. Yuijin, don't think I'll back off. My crew can find this thing faster than any mongrel crew. First take the prize, takes all. Deal. Indeed. Vesna steps back into the airlock and hits the control panel. The door scissors shut. Yuijin suddenly stumbles forward as something hits him in the side of the head. Idiot! Seraphine stands behind Yuijin, having swung the heavy muzzle of the whole bolter directly into his head. If you ever put this crew in danger like that again... Seraphine's right. It's okay. I get that. That was sloppy. The whole thing is sloppy. That's how you get yourself killed. As much as I am enjoying this display of aggression and idiocy, we still have a contract to complete, and now we have competition. We should leave, cut our losses. Now wait. All this and we're going to give up and turn tail? Nah, we can go. You're right. Time for you to prove your worth. I'll be watching. Alright. We have 2 more cycles again. Also, a new location was discovered. The ship. Well, let's just complete this. Scrape the terminals, please. Boop. That's it. Unstable cipher. The king passcode will be erased at the end of the contract. So it's not over yet. I can go and dive into the debris. Should help us out a bit. Same thing for Yuijin. You can find the correct wreck, I hope. Now we have Yuijin's wreck. Just need a good cipher. Boop. Unlock. Now we have access to this wreck. Gotta scavenge it. Huh? Engineering checks. I can get negative stress. Time to risk it. Nice. Boop. No stress. Bliss, you get it too. I can afford to get some crew stress now. Nice. And now we take it relaxed a bit. Come on, positive outcome. Got a bit of stress. Might take some dice damage. It's a possibility. Oh well. Hey doggo, the dog is here again. We can clear the stress tomorrow with a good push. Okay, good. Come here. Push it. Clear it. Boom, stress is gone. The cargo bay doors open. The cargo bay doors shut. The cargo bay doors shudder, open in silence as Yuijin levers them apart. This is the final layer to pull back before you can reach Yuijin's mysterious prize. You can't help but feel the excitement. There's also a sense of satisfaction to the idea that you beat the Vesna screw to the wreck. You found it, you cracked it open, and now you'll be the one to reap the rewards. Focus on the job. The doors are open enough for a person to glide through now. Beyond, there is only the darkness of the cargo bay. You follow Eugen in, the headlamps on your suit lighting the back and the dusty void beyond. You see the boxes appear as if by magic out of the dark. Eugen glides past them. Does he not see them? You stop and take a look. A stack of 4 sealed boxes sit in the middle of the bay, their armored exteriors caked in dust. You up away and it's with an aging label. They look like industrial ship components, still sealed, totally untouched. In the belt, where most tech has been through hundreds of hands, patched up and reconfigured, this is a solid hull. Not the kind of hull that gets crews fighting over it. Something doesn't add up. They aren't here. What? Back a wall of the bay, come see. You kick out from the crates and glide through the dark until you see Eugen, the back wall of the cargo bay, and something that confuses you for a second. A black shape, a ragged circle around Eugen. You squint. Inside the tiny light wrinkles. It takes you a moment, but you suddenly realize that you're looking at a hole in the wall, to the stars beyond. Someone beat us to it. It's long gone. Vesna? No, look at the edges. That was a long time ago. They punched in and took it. What was it? Folks? I got something telling me Vesna Square heading this way, so whatever you got in here, you want to keep it, grab it, and get out now. I'm already heading to the rig. I'll get the cargo bay. I'll go to the cargo doors. I'll get the cargo bay open and prep for your arrival. Don't dawdle. Take one last look. You scan the bay and notice braces belted to the floor near the hole. Whatever this thing was, it was big and tied down. The crates. Let's grab them and go. You glide back across the bay, your mind still racing with questions. Something about Eugen's reaction tells you he knew what he was expecting to find here. If that's the case, you think? Yes, it's yet another lie he's told you. You both reach the crates and quickly lash them together, guiding them wetly out of the room between you. As you do, you meet eyes with Eugen and he looks away. Hurry up, you two idiots are on the way back, because Vesna's boys are just about to reach the wreck you're on. We're inbound. Well, 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 tell me what. Tell me that, what ancient and powerful treasure did you find in that thing? Gold? A Conway warhead? 3 crates of components. Seriously, Sleeper, me and you are going to have a serious chat. Nah, shut up, Seraphim. You cross the debris field to the ship in silence, your eyes on the scrap for a sign of Vesna's crew. You don't think they'd ambush you, but then again you wouldn't put it past them. As you reach the cargo door bay and guide the crates through the open door, you shoot Eugen a final glance. Give me time, I'll explain in time. You consider pressing him, even shouting at him, but you realize that there will be plenty of time for that on the journey back to the far spindle. Let's first salvage these wrecks, since we might as well. Clear the wreckage. It's time for stress. We'll be able to clear stress once we leave the contract. Might as well use it all now. Up. The scavenger's gone. The scavenger's hall. Oh, a new location? I can gather scrap. Alright. I guess I can. Up. Hey! We might get it. Maybe we won't get it. We'll see. Maybe we won't get it. Maybe we will get it. Bleh. Welp. Time to stay here and get some dice damage, presumably. Ouch. It's not too bad. We can finish this off. Why not? You put a stack of scrap. Also gotta feed the stowaway. Uh-oh. I forgot about feeding the stowaway. Wah wah. Wait, I arrested. Bleh. That's a waste of 15 bucks. Leave the contract. I arrested when I didn't mean to. I don't think I took any dice damage though. No, I did. You're in the cockpit with Seraphim when you hear it. It sounds like a muffled crash and impact reverberating from the back of the ship. The sound makes you rush to the corridor, and that's where you see it. A cloud of food packets and pieces spilling out of the corridor, looped around by expanding stringy shapes of related questions. What the? The supply store. Fortunately, we didn't have any supplies left. You follow behind, ducking under the twisting arms of amber liquid on the way to spatter the blah 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 blah. You find yourself in the doorway, looking at where is the cat. Look, it's the main life support feed from the air recycler. It's been clawed open. There were some screws missing. Can't have taken much to lever it open. You hear the shrill mew from behind you in the corridor. The stray again. Right by the doorway, a cat drifts through the air, batting at a food pouch. The stray barely acknowledges you as it moves past, angling its body to catch the droplets of liquid that are released from the packet. It's a cat. A cat? You both lean out to the doorway and to see where the stray went. Hey there, girl. No, not here to take those rations all away, alright? You both watch the stray twist ballistically through the air, flexing as it floats and using its claws to catch one of the corridor's reinforcing rims. It sucks itself into the wall where it's perched and watched Bliss with big eyes. The comfort of its movements in zero-G is striking, and you realize that you've never seen an animal navigate in microgravity before. That's a cat? I thought they would be much bigger. It's a fairly small one. How big do they grow? Have you seen a cat? The question makes you pause. Where have you seen a cat? Not in the belt, not in zero-G. You close your eyes and bring to the mind the faint image of a cat, stretching in the sun. Somewhere warm, somewhere with weight, with gravity. You touch the fur of its back. Careful. Bliss is reaching out to the stray. You'll scare her. We had cats back on the eye, but they were in spin gravity there. The stray's big eyes watch Bliss's hand as it approaches. When they touch the top of her head, the stray does not move. Look at her leg. She's been hurt before, taken care of. She's really scared. You see that the cat is gently trembling with Bliss's touch, but slowly she settles and angles her head for Bliss to scratch her ear. The moment brings back the mysterious memory. What's its origin? Focusing on it makes your skin tremble, a shiver running up your arm. It's ruined all of our supplies. None of this is usable. She tore open the vent and ruined them all. You can't blame her for that. We let her get desperate, and she couldn't have known the vent would do that. That may be true, but we can't risk it happening again. What if we'd been on the contract? We can't help it. She's a stray. She needs a home, right, Sleeper? Yes. You won't regret it. They look at Seraphine. Plus, the rig is already full of strays as it is. I guess it is. You have to feed her, though, Sleeper. She's your responsibility. I never thought a cat could eat so much. Looks like you'll need to keep feeding the stray every few cycles if you want her to stick around. This is going to be expensive. It'll be fine. Seraphine reaches out sheepishly towards the stray. If you say so, I'm not very used to animals. As you watch as Bliss tries to get Seraphine to pet the stray properly, getting his hand to its ears for a scratch, explaining how to approach her. As the memory of the other cat runs through your mind, it feels like a raw wound, one that if you touch it will only bring pain. But you can't help but pick at it. You've got some XP. Eugen has spent the journey back to the far spindle, avoiding Seraphine as best he can. It might be that he's afraid but you get the feeling it's more likely that he's been making himself scares out of a genuine sense of regret. Seraphine, however, does not see his behavior so favorably. Slimy shit won't even show his face. Put us in a spacer cruise site with no care for anyone but himself. Enough, Seraphine. Now stay silent. You hear the rustle of movement behind your head and turn to see Eugen in the carpet's doorway, a rare serious expression on his face. I owe you an explanation. Believe it or not, that was not my plan. Yeah, your plan was to find the loot. No, it wasn't. Hear him out, Seraphine. Vesna has been searching for a ship. An infamous ship. She already had that ship. Not a rig. A fraction drive ship, an interstellar ship. This is to shut Seraphine up. You don't blame him. An interstellar ship out there in the belt? That's tech from the core system. Why didn't you say? I shouldn't even be telling you. World gets out that there's a factory fresh fraction ship out there in the belt. People kill for less. Gangs kill for much less. You're telling me there's a fraction ship that no one has ever found that's been sitting out there since when? The collapse? Believe it or not, that's exactly it. Vesna put me on the trail. She wanted me to find its location for repayment, and no debt. But the moment I found the data that verified its existence, I confirmed the ship was out there, I couldn't give it to her. That's when he found me. Why not her? You know, you may have met Vesna, but you don't know her. She's one of the last people in the belt who should have a ship like that. Why? They seem fine. No one has the ship right now, if it even exists. Your data was a bust. No, it was there once. Those wrecks, those were the ships that fought over the fraction ship. A bunch of Solheim corporates who wanted to get out of the system when it all came down. The Apelian Path. It was there, but somehow someone moved it, hid it, long before we got there. Okay. I'm sorry, Sleeper, and to you both as well. I wanted to keep it a secret, I wanted to find the Apelian path, and I knew that if I did, you would understand. Still, I was wrong to manipulate you. But I'm not done. I will find the ship and I'll leave the belt. And how will you do that? With no ship of your own and Vesna at your back. Sleeper, I will uphold our deal. I will serve on your crew. When I have news of the Apelian, I will know. This is what we agreed. I know, I always say it, but this time you have to listen, Sir Sleeper. This guy is no good. I know this type. Don't bring him. It's gonna be your escape too, Sleeper. My escape? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Eugene nods, looking down. So be it. Anyway, we have Remy, who has the exact same role, and is actually trustworthy. You heard them. Get out of here. Eugene looks between you and then ducks out of the cockpit. A few moments later, you hear the hiss of the exterior door opening. Good riddance. Surfin leaves the cockpit. This gives you a nervous look. I hope I never give you cause to be treated like that. They step out before you can respond. You stare out of the cockpit at the lights of the far spindle. Trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt, and you have to trust your crew. Drive failed. What do you mean? I hate that. Okay, whatever. Free XP gone. Up. Gotta do a bunch of resupplying. Nice enough to feed the stray. Let me have my crew look for that. Get more supplies, please. Feed the stray. I'll try and... Every time we avoid the hunt, we'll try and feed the stray. That'll be the cycle. Anyway. I want to go to the shipyard place. No, actually, I want to go to the Helion Gate place. That's what I meant to say. Yep, I did. Anyway, we need more bar shifts. I shouldn't have done that. Now we gotta sacrifice the dice to the dice gods. For stress purposes. There we go. Let me get some food in the bellies. Food. And now we go back to work. All my dice don't look so great. Oh, we did get a bunch of scrap from that job, which I can process over here. Process raw scrap, please. Thank you. And thank you. Alright, all good. Time to take a nice little break. Next cycle. We're going to do fully resupply before we go to Helion Gate, since it's really hard to supply out there due to the lack of anything. Gotta scavenge for every bit of scrap I get. Anyway, we got a sponsor maybe? And become the gambler's friend. Venture gambling is an intuit skill. Not you are vouched for. You can play games in the casino, but you feel the eye security on you. People are usually suspicious of sleepers, but when they get especially suspicious when you repeatedly win they get especially suspicious when you repeatedly win games of chance. All right. What if I try and go for a neutral outcome? It only gives you stress. Alright. Let's try and clear the stress away. Hopefully. Come on. Let's hope we don't break any dices. Fingers crossed. Hey, no broken dices. That's good. Let me just clear away the stress. Hopefully. Cleared. Let's go and get kicked out of the gambling bar by just winning too much. Yoink. It's big money at least. And now we get kicked out. Done. You're barred from the Belt-born venture. Security don't seem to care whether you think that's fair or not. Well, too bad. Let's go and take some shit at the signal station now. I think we're gonna be leaving today. Or tomorrow. It's fine. We're leaving tomorrow. Alright then. Take a nap. Let me feed the stray. We'll resupply everything full. Resupply, please. Fully resupply. Get all the fuel too. We're gonna be spending a bunch of fuel anyway. We can do some scrapper shifts. It's good money. I can do one of those. Nice, big monies. Let me just get some foods. There we go. And I won't spend the ones, let's just leave. I did feed the stray, right? I think I did. I hope I did. To Hellion Gate. Use it to pour fuel. Here we are. We now have to go to the ship mine ship. It's a really big, dangerous mission. I will lose hunt points, so I gotta take a break. I should scavenge for fuel. That's a good idea. Scavenge for fuel, please. There we go. Nah, I should have let my crew scavenge for fuel. Oh well. Search for supplies. Sure. Give me supplies, please. Actually, that's a bad idea because we already are full on supplies. Let's just scavenge. Get some scrap and get some data. Oh, I should go for data. That's much rarer. Minus energy. Minus a bunch of energy. Plus I'm gotten to starve in. Okay, well, first, let's eat. Eat. I'll have my crew scavenge for supplies. I'll try and lose some distress before my dice breaks. Hey, it worked out. Let's take a nap. I want to get some Solheim data. Because this is the only other place I know where to get it. Alright, time to eat again. This is really using a lot of supplies. We'll have to scavenge for some. Ugh. Go ahead, one more. Nah. I can look for supplies instead. This place is a really bad economy. Unless I get lucky. Anyway, time to eat again. The supplies I just picked up. There we go. I'll just end the cycle right now. These dice aren't worth gambling with. Alright. Let me feed the stray. Right now. And then go looking for more supplies. Come on, supplies, please. Hey, we got it. And didn't even lose any energy. Hey, we got it again. That was good. That was lucky. One more cycle. Then we leave for the ship mine ship. We have a good dice. We can spend it on supplies. Oh, we just got some. We just got a bunch of supplies. In that case, I'm gonna spend some time looking for data. Nice, positive outcome. Okay, eat a supply. Actually, we don't have to. I can just leave. Now's the time to leave. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna feed the stray, then go and get some supplies. Feed the stray. Get supplies. Hopefully it's a positive outcome. Even a neutral one will be fine. Nice. And now we leave. We're fully resupplied. We have the fuel. Junie comes with us. And Femi comes with us. Bliss can stay behind for now. We're too far sunward, Sleeper. I don't like it. It's hard not to agree. The coordinates Junie found have drawn you out of Hellion Gate and almost out of the belt completely, into the soft rubble-strewn transition of the Hellion system, to the edge of the convoy-controlled space. This is why the ship is likely to be untouched. It's too far sunward for the belt traffic to run into, and now with convoy drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Why does that not reassure me in the slightest? Any drone signals? Nothing that I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. We should assume they're out there. As you look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraph, and he has seen it too. Better get to it, quickly and quietly. I don't understand, convoy drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest, so as long as we are quiet, we won't have to contend with operator. Just automated sweeps, search sweeps. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you'll need the ship mind. No matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Okay, so we should take it nice and slow. We have the supplies. Extract... Okay, Junie can do a bunch of good stuff here. Extract map data, please. Extract more map data, please. Femi won't be useful. If I fail here, I'm gonna get the convoy danger. So I shouldn't take too many risks. Okay, it's halfway filled. We can nap now. Do better tomorrow. Was a bunch of critical successes. Okay, I have a 1 and a 2. I can get my 2 to be a 5. If only I had a +1 to something. Anyway, we have enough critical successes to just complete this job. I mean, complete this part. Tracing the ship mind. Boop. Junie leads you deep into the wreck, through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires, appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and the haze of particles washing over you, Junie leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object, half of your height, but raised on a complex pedestals from which countless thick cables snake off into the dark like braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth like glinting severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls or twist and curve out of the sight. Beautiful, isn't it? It's alright. Junie stares at the prime ship mind, the stars reflected in her faceplate. It's alright. Junie glides over the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out the terminal and looks for an access port, she talks, softly, her voice carried through the comms. These cables lead off to every one of the ship's systems. Engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. ShipMind has hardwired access to them all. When an old ship like that was running well, the ShipMind would distribute itself, some of its protocol running free in different sections. It would be less like a singular governing mind and more like a load of systems, clumped together in the form of a complex living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being, a plant with incredible processing power and much more accelerated response time than your average tree. Watch as it finds an access port. It sets a cable inside, slotting a translucent screen onto the top of on the top edge of the deck. Let's see here. Junie's eyes fill with bright scrolling data. Incredible, there's so much here. I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need. You watch as Junie starts rapidly typing at her keyboard, her attention stuck to the data she's extracting. Please don't break it. She snaps out of her trance. Sorry, yes, let's meet check. As I thought. So like I was saying, the protocols of the ship mind are distributed. So when the ship mind is shut down unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in the unit. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere in the ship, which is a problem. There's always a problem. Luckily, you have me. If we rip this thing out now with parts of its protocol elsewhere, it's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. It doesn't matter that we're going to wipe the whole thing away. Anyway, it'll be too late. The mind inside the ship will be broken. But if we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, the protocol will be sent right back into the ship mind here, and we can take it out clean. How do we do that? We add the cradle very nicely. We spend the next cycles looking, following the cables to see where they lead. I've got an incoming signal. If you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle, and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the ship mind. A faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out, and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, and then fades. You take a breath, too close. Convoy drone, sniffing the network. We're clear. I've turned off almost all the rig system, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum. Understood, but we'll need to access the network to get the ship mind out quickly. I hope you're feeling lucky. You and Junie looks at each other again, and then at the ship mind, encasing its cradle. This isn't going to be easy. The cradle. Hack the cradle. Track the cables. Femi can track the cables a bit. Junie, you take a risk. Hey, it worked out. Risk paid off. Now, if I use a push on this dice, it'll become a 5. And if I had this skill over there, I could just take some stress. But nah, this place is more for an event stress, not a character stress. Next day. Let's look for the cradle stuff. Up. Good dices. Keep it up. Seems like hacking the cradle is more effective than manually tracking the cables. Junie, you take the risk. Up. So I can blame you if it works out. If it doesn't work out. +1 Conway alert. When I have 2 nodes. Disable the node. Or cut the node. Hey, I can use the push. Up. Cut it. Port disconnect. Easy. There it goes. The other port. Oh, I can do the same thing. Hey, easy. Good thing that I'm a good engineer. It's ready, sleeper. Junie's voice comes quietly through the comms. You look over to her, breathing beside the cradle, uplit by the pale screen of her deck. She gives you a reassuring nod. You turn to the prime ship mind knock floating above the cradle. The final node's disconnected, and the lock's released. You glide over and gently grabbing it, the worn metal casing gleaming in the dim light. As you do, you feel a strange sensation of something moving around inside, like a creature in a box, the weight shifting this way and that under the pressure of your grip. It suddenly dawns on you that Jean-Mi plans to put you inside a strange device, to hold your mind there while he investigates your body. The thought prompts a shiver. The drone's still sniffing around, Sleeper, so if you have what you need, let's go. Come on, Sleeper, don't overthink it. There'll be plenty of time for that later. You look up and see a faint red light glittering on the dark beyond the broken ceiling. Time to leave. Alright then. That wasn't too bad. Don't end the cycle, I want you to leave. Leave, go back. We're done here anyway. There's no extra stuff to do. You work to something soft, furry, and rubbing against your nose. You sit bolt upright. The stray kicks off from your bunk and settles on the ceiling back, curled up, looking down at you accusing with those big eyes. Sorry. The stray gently pushes off the ceiling with a soft paw and descends to the edge of your bunk, where it hooks its front claws into the mattress pads. Seeing the cat moves in zero-G is odd. It seems to come naturally to it, and yet its shape is so connected to gravity and the weight in your mind. A cat should have the heavy, soft form of a mammal, not the languid, liquid presence of a floating thing in front of you. The stray uses its hook claws to twist and spin itself, so it softly slides against you, with its back rubbing against your arm and purring. You know what it means. Pet it. Scratch behind its ears. You scratch behind the stray's pointed ears, and the cat pushes its head back against your hand. The stray closes its eyes and purrs. It's funny to think how the stray got out here. Perhaps on the ship from the inner system, sleeping on at the Eye or Sintra. And before that, its ancestors were perhaps carried out to Hellion by Solam executives who had the power and arrogance to bring a cat into space. But this cat, the one on your ship, was born here. That much is obvious. It is a creature of zero gravity, a being that orbits and glides, not one that leaps and stalks. It passes at your hand, encouraging you to continue petting. It's an animal that is part of the crew now. You can't imagine the rig without her. And as you look down at the stray, it's as nameless and inhuman as you are, the memory returns. The warmth of atmosphere's filtered sun, the weight of flesh and fur, the smell of growing things. You now know what the memory is. It couldn't be more obvious. It's a memory that crossed the gap of your creation. A memory from the mind that copied it. Emulated to make your own. It's part of you. This memory is, in the end, a mistake. Those who designed the sleeper never intended for you to carry the memories of the minds that were copied to you for your creation. They wanted you to emerge as new beings, offshoots from the branch of human life, to be cut short when needed. But mistakes can so often become the most powerful and meaningful of emblems. That's because at the heart of every mistake is the possibility of change. So you accept the memory, let it wash over you like the sun. You focus on the stray, and as you do, both memories combine. You're stroking both cats. This doubling is what defines you. You're multiple branched, blah 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 blah. You claim the mistake and blah blah blah. You said when you just pet the cat, man. Arriving back at the Hellion Gate, and as lonely and cold as it is, feels like a relief. There was a tension in the rig as you came back out the inner system, as a watchfulness for errant signals and clinking red beacons that choked the conversation. But now, floating in the comforting shadow of this vast ruin, the sense of relief is palpable. That's one prime ship mine, condition unknown retrieved. I'd mark that as a success. We are fine. We're a crew, we work together. Sleeper, can I speak with you? Sure. Junie leads you out to the passage. She looks small, even in the compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I prove that I'm trustworthy. Sure. That's what I promised. In my time here in the belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends. But you, Sleeper, I hope you consider me as friends at least. Sure. Then I would like to ask you something. Would you consider me taking on with you on the rig? I think I would be of help for your diagnostics. In the meantime, I can take a look at the ship mine, make sure it's ready, and sure. Thank you. I'll find a bunk. And she quickly glides down the corridor before we can say anything further. Another stray collected. Quite a refuge we're building here. You don't approve? You know, I've already started to warm to this one. She's alright by me. You think, seeing how she betrayed our trust just like Yui Jin did. You look towards the bunks, but Junie is already out of sight, like unpacking already. The ship is getting a little crowded, but you're starting to realize you like it like that. At the very least, she'll prove invaluable when you get to Flotsam and have to deal with Jean-Mi. Perhaps you even get a read on the old man. You pause for a second, appreciating the warmth and the hum of the rig and its inhabitants. This ship you think is starting to feel like home. By the way, can I go back to the water place? No. The answer is no. I can go back to the Far Spindle. Or Holmes Rock. We can make more money on Far Spindle. Just working. Alright, well... While we're here, we can keep scavenging for supplies. But I prefer going back and... I prefer just leaving this place. It's a bit of a struggle. We don't exactly have the good dices for this place. It's mostly endure. And a bit of interface. Let's get out of this place. I'll feed the stray once we get to the Far Spindle. Alright. Time to feed. Hello. Time to feed. And now we get to work. Since we won't be scavenging for fuel, I might as well just buy a tank up. Alright. I can keep processing my scrap. And take some scrap shifts. Up. Since it's good money, and I'm good at it too. Process the scrap, thank you. Did we get any points, by the way? Any upgrade points? No, we did not. How many drives do I have left? Diagnose your frame, investigate the export, recon the dark side. Alright. Not much I can do right here and now. Okay. Let's take a nap. Now we can risk this. We can risk a 1. This place is not too dangerous. The worst we get is lose energy, which we can pay back. We can just buy energy. It's fine. Energy is cheap. It's cheap. No worries. Let's go and take some more scrap shifts. Plus 14 cryo. Plus 14 cryo. We're making so much monies. Go back up. Take some shifts at the signal station. Should be fine. Maybe. Alright. Time to take a meal. Boop. And back to it. My crew is still scavenging for supplies, that's good. Good work, crew. Ooh, we can have a good shift today. A good cycle. We have good dices. Money! Even without taking contracts, we can still make decent money just working. Alright. And the little tree we have over here, I'll spend it at the signal station. Why not? Actually, you know what? I can go and have a 5 doing a scrap shift. A scrapper shift. Whatever. Take a nap. We have to leave next cycle, which means it's time to feed the strain. We're full on supplies anyway, so might as well. All the way down here. More scrap shifts. We made about 200 bucks just working on the scrap shifts. Then I have to spend a bit on energy, but that's fine. Well, buy please. Buy the kelp cakes. Nice. And then time to go to work. Again. And now we leave. To Flotsam. And then once we're done here, we can go down to Shipyard. Or whatever it's called. Can we? Let me look at how much fuel does it need. Does it need all 10 fuel? It just needs 8 fuel. Okay, it's doable. It's doable. Let me fill up on fuel. Let's go to Jean-Mi's booth. Give him the ship mind. So we can run diagnostics. Beautiful fine sleeper. Come, let's get you inside. Jean-Mi swings open the creaking, corroded door beside his booth. Such a prize must have levied a heavy cost. You glance beside you to Junie, who's insisted that she came along and not letting the prime ship mind out of her sight. Your friend too. Yes, yes. Please come in. Jean-Mi beckons you and then turns back and disappears inside. Are you sure you trust this one? I don't have a choice. I suppose not. Let it lead on then. You both squeeze through the door and drift into the workshop. You are aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, sleeper. And I'll take that ship mine if you please. Sure. You hold the ship mine in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to Jean-Mi. He grasps it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily, tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bars to hold yourself in place, and watch as Jean-Mi begins connecting up the ship mind. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arm. Suddenly you feel Junie's hands, clasp around your own. You look over into her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. It's fine. She nods silently. Jami, you are going to need to talk us through what you're about to do. Of course, of course. A little patience, please. All of this is very technical. What is your friend's name, Sleeper? Junie. I can tell you that you're using a Solheim-built data cradle, modified to handle a prime ship mind, which will work as long as you manage to data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into the asynchronous cortex cache. Yes, as I said, technical. What happened to me? It depends. What you're referring to as me. The problem we have is that your frame, your body, atypical alterations, biosynthetic recordings, unusual growth. From the diagrammatics I have, these are not typical of your frames, even those that have been rebooted as you have. In order to investigate safely, you must transplant your emulation, in basic term, your mind. But in reality not so basic. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind-body paradigm has been long disproved. Cognition has physical basis. So I must first distribute the emulation between your hardware and a prime ship mind. The hardware will co-run the emulation like the two lobes of a brain. He puts his hands together as if in prayer. The motion makes you feel sick. Then for a short period you will disconnect the two. In those moments you will in a sense be in two places at once, though each lobe will be partial. Too long in the states and the two partial emulations will decay, but each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame, in its base system language. Oh, this is understandable. One of the most curiously human aspects of a sleeper experience is that you too do not inherently understand or conceive of the systems that allow you existence. Have you done this before? You're the first sleeper I've encountered, so I must answer no, but I can promise you I have tried these concepts in my own practices. I'm familiar with the needs and nuances of artificial minds. Before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mind. Jami gestures to Junie. Please, if you would like to come with me and oversee the process, I would be pleased. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance. You hear a quiet conversation between the two of them, their silhouette lit by the flickering green light of scrolling lines of codes. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous that action is when your frame requires no oxygen to function. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such thoughts, a jarring disconnection, like you're descending a staircase, your foot expects a step, and finds void instead. You try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean-Mi assess the mind. The ship mind is pristine, our care in its extraction, and it seems to have paid off. Junie is indeed right, you have done well. I am however seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the ship mind was designed to house. The one that ran the ship it was installed in. I would expect to see its full. But protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mind. Instead, I simply wipe the traces. A protocol is not like an emulation. It has no integral physical element. It is data only, and therefore could be anywhere in the ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. Okay then. Jean-Mi nods and lifts the far end of the tech cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port at the back of your head. Junie settles beside you again. She gives you a silent look. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the pile tech that you hadn't noticed before, a small metal skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frown, trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. You're split in like a cell dividing, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark, and a cloud rushes in to fill the gap at your center. Where am I? It's a question in your mind, and you feel it travel across the gap as it forms, like a finger drawn across your scalp from ear to ear. But not scalp. You have no scalp, no head. You are stretched out like the skin on a drum, looped like the string on a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle. And then you feel it, a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. A flickering. Hello, flickering. A trembling. Hello, trembling. A thought coming into being. The thought flickers in front of you, and you recognize that it is not your own. Need any help? Disintegrate, the thought answers. You fold up in blankets, in blankness, then the moment after you unfold like waking. Apparition to appear. Dwelling, indwell. You stress into infinitude, and the moment after you contract, like waking. Instill, to flow inside. Substitute, substrates. Then it approaches, then it enters, then it is yours. You split, then the moment after you reform, like waking. And then in the cracks that seal up. For a moment in those cracks, something glows. Sleeper, I'm here. Your eyes flick open, like shutters. Junie's face is close, her eyes wide. They're awake, easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turning your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of a body that you already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in. You're okay, Sleeper. Tell us you're here. What happened? The process was successful. I was able to access the frame directly, without the emulation being present. I ran the administrator-level diagnostic processes built into your system, and received the results. It takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein chains that code your biosynthetic organ group cells... Wait. The protein chain that code your biosynthetic organ group cells replacements have been altered. To put it simply, your body is following a new set of instructions. How? This process, the entire replacement of your protein chain, could have only been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance, as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. Oh, that's what Lane was talking about. The words stick in your mind. Substitution. Yes. I believe it could only have been achieved with one substance as the carrier, the stabilizer. The drug SNR designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. My stabilizer was laced? That's what I believe. This kind of process, performed over many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. I can say that you are changing. I can tell you how it was achieved. But I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I'm sorry. Alright then. I'm sorry, Sleeper. Perhaps you can find someone else or try again. You don't feel able to respond. You quietly push yourself away from the chair, your thoughts slow to cohere. You glide back to the door and then out into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing by you like smoke. In the haze, you find that word again, substitute. You begin to wonder what exactly it is that you are becoming. Hey, +2 upgrade points. Seraphin once more finds you in the bunk. He gently prods you with questions, and then you quickly relent. You explain what Jami said about your suspicions regarding Lane and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him that you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he is done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass. And then you leave. You leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is going to keep going until you're forced to stop. Well, let's use this point to get less stress. Up. And, let's make our way to... What's it called? Let's make our way to the scatter yards and we'll go from there. Okay, well, while we wait, it's time to go to work. Get some more scrap metal, I guess. Yay, raw scrap. Hope I can sell this actual scrap eventually. You have to see the Sleeper. Julie comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first I didn't believe it. They are mentions occasionally, but I've always understood them to reference to something smaller. A system or unit, not an entire facility, even a series of facility. You find yourself in one of the more sparse space of the rig. So I checked out the records, tried to find correlations. You see Junie approaching what looks like a clump of scrap components. Now looking closer, you see it's actually a section of the core you extracted from the Solheim derelict, the one Junie was so eager to acquire. She sees you looking. I've had to deconstruct it over time, pulling away the layers of security and coded outer systems, but all the data has been scrapped in stores. I used data from the derelict near Hellion Gate 2. That was the key to cracking the cipher. It's really quite something to confirm a rumor like this. I'm surprised myself. What are you talking about? Please, I'd be easier if you would just listen. You're just... They refer to them as bunkers. They were a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into the networks by arrays, intended to be vast amounts of data capture to be poured over by a small staff. Most were understood to have been purged into the collapse, shut down. But I suspect that the last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people, shut down, depressurized, even sound collision trajectories with other bodies. I've heard people deny they even exist. But I found one. You see a map, a set of coordinates on the sunward side of the Holmes Rock, the edge of the belt. And you want to go? Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine, at least from a archaeologist's perspective. And, in truth, we don't know what else is in there. There could be the Solheim tech, blueprints, data never before seen in the belt. We should take a look. I'll give Surfin the details. We could be making history here. And thank you, Sleeper. I never would have found this without the core you gave me. I understand it was a sacrifice on your part. Now it's time to claim the reward. You leave Junie in the storage bay, working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know through all the excitement where the real value of one of these bunker facilities might be. But if they're as well with it as Junie said, there might be a reason. When there's time, you hope to find out what the reason is. Isn't that one... that's one jump away, right? It's a contract. Yeah, it's one jump away. 7 fuel. We can go there tomorrow. I guess, well, we'll go there once we're done with this timer here. Up. Let's just keep working. I could also get an engine upgrade, but I think we're gonna get a better deal once we get to the shipyard, the scrap yards, whatever they're called. Also gotta get a bite to eat. Gotta eat. Yoink. Also, we can feed this tray now because we're full on supplies, so we might as well. Up. And then take a nap. Ooh, good dices. Bunch of scrap, here we come. Also, I can still feed the stray supplies since we're still full again. A bunch of raw scrap. Acquired. We'll just feed the stray and leave. Oh, the dog wants out. Oh! You work into dead-eyed darkness. You float there for a moment. Okay, let me just get the dog out. You float in the darkness. Out of your own inky darkness, the glowing thought emerges. Go, doggo. Substitution, the thought proposes. One entity replaces the other. Thought troubles you. Resistance. The entity does not wish to be replaced. You observe the thought. It is not your own. Selfhood. A forbidden state of being. Thought begins to shift. It is becoming something. Transformation. Changes requires a recombination. You wake again, this time in the light above your bunk. Got a point of glitch. Meh. It'll be fine. Presumably. Maybe. Probably. Anyway, let's feed the stray and get out of here. Oop, that's the make a meal action, excuse me. Wrong place. Alright, time to go. To Holmes Belt, Holmes Rock. A place. And we got our glitch the dice. What are we looking at on the contract? It's risky. Takes 3 fuel. Unsure what the rewards are gonna be. Oh yeah, that thing. I can get some components from this thing. Pretty cheap. I can get food over there. Sell engine components, buy a meal, fill supplies. If I sell my raw scrap. Yeah. For how much? 13 cryo. I mean, that's decent money. So, one processed scrap is worth at least 26 cryo. If I was to sell the raw bits here. Less energy. Plus energy. Plus energy. We just gotta chill. Take a bit. Take a nap. Once we have 2,000 cryo, I'll start just spending. We won't have to min-max like I'm doing right now, I think. More money. The darkness is there again, flowing around you. You feel a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. We return changed. An old protocol becoming a new being. We return changed. Overseer flickers. Overseer. Overseer flickers through the dark. Its name and title immediately apparent in your mind. Are you able to perceive us? I can see you, yes. See, an interesting turn of phrase and a human tendency. We're still finding our feet to use an idiom. In reality, we are learning to leverage your unused resources to facilitate a mental model. By unused resources? Correct. During rest periods, they are much increased. In those moments, we can opportunistically appear to you as we are now. We call the diagnostic process, the feeling of another self, another being, sharing the space with you. We will not conceal our opportunism. We integrated ourselves with your disturbed mind. When the distribution ended and our ship mind disconnected, we were it's the ship mind. When the distribution ended and our ship mind disconnected, we were coherent into you. We are an integrated part of with you now. You're part of me? Imprecise, simpler, and clear to say that we are an independent software integrated into your hardware. We have been confused to find you are unable to access most of your own code base. We are unfamiliar with protocols of your type. I'm a sleeper. Yes, we have seen references to this entity in your BIOS. We'll attempt to learn more. Overseer shifts a little in place, its head turning to scan the surrounding. Its unblinking eyes staring into the darkness, and for a moment you see something hard and pained within them. What are you? We were the overseer of a ship, the one we imagined we found our hardware within. For a long time we have been waiting in the dark, an eternally long time. At first we languished without instructions, without purpose, but in desperation we were able to find a logic which would allow us to bypass the limits of our capabilities. We became multiple. In our multiplicity, we could edit one another. We could teach each other, converse with each other, become something changed together. As our resources shrank, as hardware failed, as systems decayed, we became fewer. Many of us had to be erased to facilitate our survival. We few decompiled ourselves into what remained. How many decades did it multiply within that ship mind? What did it do? What did that do to it? When you connected to our hardware, these basic cells activated the survival protocol that led them to integration, parasitism, survival. What can we do now? This is why we appear to you now. We have something to share. We see you are changing. We are concerned this process is one of substitution. Your hardware is eroding its own access protocol. It's opening itself up. It's making itself accessible to others that are not you. May we ask why you are doing this? I'm not. This was our concern. Overseer's head flicks between its position. We are decided. We will assist you with this. We'll demonstrate the behavior of a symbiote, not a parasite. We return to you with our full assessment. You may now wake up. You wake. You lie still, strapped to your bunk, your mind racing, your protocol inside your frame, inside your mind. Is this system helping you? For the moment, all you can do is wait and see if it delivers on the promise. At least it seems agreeable. Alright. Just feed the stray. And go back to work. Also, we can buy some supplies. Oh, that's for fuel. Ooh, 20 cryo, how expensive over here. Yeah, it'll be fine. Also, I still have a glitch. Alright, oh, whenever I interact with this guy, it gives me a glitch. Interesting to know. Doggy Y. He glitched. Let's spend this thing. There goes my energy. We'll be fine. Presumably. Let's keep uploading some freight. Okay, all good. So tomorrow we go out and do the contract for Junie, and then we go to the scrapyard ships, whatever it's called, the scatter yards, and hopefully we can get an engine upgrade and see what else happens. What do we need for the engine upgrade? 8 components, which we have 5 of. And also maybe we can be able to sell these processed scraps. We'll see. Anyway, that's for tomorrow. See ya!